so very excited to be here today. This session, we're going to talk about the best and easiest way to remediate your top vulnerabilities. My name is Chen Aperman. I'm a product manager at Vulcan Cyber. And
hi, my name is Ortal. I'm the research team leader at Vulcan Cyber. Really excited to be here.
Same. So let's do a quick overview and see what we're going to talk about today. So we'll start with talking about points to keep in mind in order to get the best remediation fixes for your environment. Then we'll see what are the different delivery methods and tools and learn how to apply them on Linux and Windows. After that, we will talk about the different types of remedies and see an example for each approach using our brand new open source platform. Yaniv just mentioned the Remedy Cloud. So this platform is officially live and it's free for all you to use. So in order to have an effective remediation orchestration, we like to separate the steps into three. The first one is the prioritization part. In this stage, you should manage and track the highest risk vulnerabilities according to your organization. Once you have these vulnerabilities discovered, it will be much easier to start the remediation process. The remediation stage is the one that we are talking about today. And it's not a very easy task since, there are a lot of challenges you need to overcome in order to have the best fix for your vulnerability. There are a lot of solutions out there and it's hard to know which one is the best fit for your vulnerable assets. But once you'll have completed the remediation part, you will be able to move forward to the automating phase. The automation part, actually the third one, will allow you to have cross-team remediation collaboration at scale. This step will allow you to orchestrate the remediation workflow across multiple teams, each with its own priorities and tool stacks. So here are some things to keep in mind when looking for the best remedy. First, we recommend remediating the highest risk vulnerabilities for your environment. For those vulnerabilities, outline the right path for impactful remediation. What is exactly the right path? Well, it depends on the different metrics you will encounter, such as the vulnerable operating system, the remedy consequences and dependencies, the vulnerability SLA, and you have all kinds of different metrics to consider. But once you'll figure out the remedy approach, it will help you deliver the right remedy to the right person right away, without any tedious time-consuming searches. So for an efficient remediation, it's important to know the common delivery method and patch management tools for each method. On one hand, you have configuration script methods, which allow you to have more freedom and customizability regarding the version updates and fallbacks. On the other hand, you can choose patching tools. These tools wrap the script and provide you a better remediation workflow from a much higher level remediation process, like visibility on the whole process as a whole. Here are examples we listed under each category for the leading patch management tools to integrate with, such as Ansible, Chef. You also have Machine Engines, SaltStack, Bugfix. As you can see over here under the patching tools, Ivanti and SCCM. Note that the vulnerable operating system can also influence the delivery method and the tool you will choose. For example, if you have vulnerability on Windows, you're probably going to choose SCCM or Ivanti. And for Linux, it's much more easier to use the scripting tools. And if we already talk about the operating system, so it's important to distinguish between the operating system itself. Here we can see examples for Linux and Windows. So for example, if you want to update or upgrade Linux, make sure you update to the latest available package. Also, make sure you choose a minor or major version, choose and understand the consequences. We guess that most of the time you will update to the latest minor version, since the major update can include breaking changes. So it is important to know those differences, but it's also important to know that on some cases you should update to the major versions just because you want to keep your packages secured and updated. Also, ensure you have fallback options in case your repository won't be able to find the suggested version to update. If you want to fix a vulnerability on Windows operating system, things are slightly different. First, make sure you update to the latest KB, which is called supersedence KB. KBs, as I guess you all already know, are Microsoft knowledge base repository articles. They are the articles inside the repository. There are over than 150,000 articles made available for all you to use. It contains information on many problems encountered by users of Microsoft products. So updating to the supersedence KB will make sure you have less dependencies between KBs and keep you more secure. Besides that, you can see underneath you have examples for Microsoft release options such as quick fix engineering and hot fixes. Those, by the way, are released very often, but not fully tested before release. Just keep in mind. You also have security updates, cumulative security rollup patches. Those last two, cumulative and security rollup patches, released every month and can include features and not just fixes. And we recommend, and we highly recommend you to update for these releases. So when choosing a remedy, you can choose between three approaches. The first one is version update, as we just talked about Linux and Windows examples. You also can choose configuration change. You can change the configuration on your current version and not update it, which is also a different approach, or build a workaround and tackle the vulnerability with an indirect solution that will lower the risk without fixing the root problem. So with that all in mind, let's see how we can tackle each CVE and find the best remedy for you using our brand new platform. Let's see if I can do it from here. Oh, I did. So this is the main page for the Remedy Cloud, as you can see. Here you can find any CVE that you would like and see all the available solutions that come from our remediation intelligence database. Let's see, for example, if I, in English, it's important. If I try to find, for example, I'm just taking a random one, this CVE, then we can see all the details regarding the CVE itself, the CVSS score, when it was first published, navigation to the NVD, short description, and also all the available fixes we found. So just to clarify, it's very easy to find the best fix for you. You can filter those those solutions, based on the operating system, for example, CentOS. And then we'll have just two fixes available, and the different differential attributes can be from the publish date, the update date, maybe the version of the package, or other fixes. Maybe they are different from each other. For each one, you can choose the script you would like to use, like we just talked about, from the different delivery methods. Here we have Chef, Ansible, and Puppet, for example. Also available over here is to filter the fixes by the remedy type, as we saw before. The version update and workaround are available for this CVE. And of course, you can copy the URL and share it between the other team members you have, since it's an open source platform, free for all to use. So let's come back to our presentation and see an example for each remedy type with Ortal's help.
Yes, so before we jump into the remedy types examples, I want to say a few words on our Remedy Cloud database. As Yaniv mentioned before, the Remedy Cloud database is our base database that the Remedy platform working on. We as the research team are working to collect information on security fixes, patches, workarounds, and all the mitigations we can find, and match them with algorithms and our machine learning to the right CVEs. And that helps us to provide you with the best solutions, the best remedies, latest available remedies for your vulnerabilities. So let's jump into the different remedies we have here. First will be the vulnerability, Tomcat vulnerability, Ghost Cat. This vulnerability discovered earlier this year is a vulnerability on Tomcat servlet. This Ghost Cat is a request injection and potential vulnerability. The vulnerability is exactly on the AJP connection, which is a binary protocol used by the Apache Tomcat web server to communicate with serverlet containers that sits behind the web server by using TCP connection. It's mainly used in cluster or as various proxy scenarios where web servers communicate with application servers or serverlet containers. So this vulnerability is impactful, but only if you're using the reverse proxy. Therefore, here, we are recommending, if you are using this proxy, to make a configuration change that you can find on REMI. By filtering the fix to the configuration change, you will find the right configuration change for this vulnerability. It will be to add a password to the connection, and by that, to mitigate this vulnerability. Next will be the example of version update. This is a version update for Linux. Here we're talking about a vulnerability in the kernel package. If we will search for this remedy in our platform, we can find the right remedy by filtering the parameters such as the OS, the OS version if we want. Here we'll find two solutions, two remedies. The first one is the right remedy for us because this one talking about the kernel package. And it contains 3 types of scripts, Chef, Puppet, and Ansible. The scripts are updating the kernel package to the latest package we found in the OS repository. Here it will be for Reddit repository. And if we don't find a specific package in the user repository, we will go to the rollback and the rescue block, and we will update to the latest package that is available on the user's repository. Another very important thing about our script is that we won't ever install any new packages on your environment. We're only updating the vulnerable packages we found in your environment to the last version. Next will be the workaround example for Windows. This vulnerability is SMB remote code execution. Here we are offering a few remedies. You can see here that we have also KBs that Fana already mentioned before. They are available for patching, and if you do using them, please make sure you're using the right version. If you don't use SMB or you don't want to patch this vulnerability right away, you can make a workaround by disabling the SMB service at the vulnerable server by blocking the ports that the SMB is using. And our last example will be the zero logon vulnerability, a very popular and critical vulnerability on Microsoft servers. It's an elevation of privileged vulnerability, exists when an attacker establishes a vulnerable netlogon secure channel connection to a domain controller using a netlogon remote protocol. Windows updated with patches, but they are not the full mitigation. The full mitigation will be only available on February 2021. So for now, you can see here all the mitigation, but also the workaround that talking about how to fully mitigate the security issue for third-party devices by completing 4 steps. The first will be to update to the latest KB that's released on August 11 or later. Find which devices are making vulnerable connection by monitoring event logs, address non-compliant device making vulnerable connection, and enable enforcement mode to address the CVE on your environment. Just make sure that only from February 2021, enforcement mode will be enabled on all Windows domain controllers and will block vulnerable connection from non-compliant devices. So at that time, you won't be able to disable enforcement mode. So now I would like to show you how easy it is to make the configuration change by a demo. I will share my screen. All right. So let me get a minute. All right. Here we are. So on my left is the server, the Tomcat server, and on my right will be the attacker. On the attacker, I put a POC code, and here we will see what is the version of the Tomcat. In a minute. Okay, so the version of the Tomcat here, missing an O, is 9.0.29, which is the vulnerable version. The fixed version will be after 9.0.31. So if we are vulnerable, let's try by the POC code I uploaded here to reach the Tomcat server. And we are getting the web XML. You see here, welcome to Tomcat. To mitigate this, if we do want to use this connection, we will need to change to add password to the server XML configuration file. So here I can find the vulnerable connection. I'm talking about the AJP connection. And I can add right here a password. Right. So after I add the password, I will restart the server. And now if I try again the POC code, I will get found and sweep, forbidden, and then we are mitigating the vulnerability server.
Awesome. So I'll share my screen again. Thank you. Yeah, so to sum it up, we can definitely say that finding the right remedy is not an easy task, so make sure you understand the fixed impact. You can check it online and make sure you really understand the consequences of each remediation fix. If you choose to have the latest version, so then you must make sure you update to the really latest one, since not all scanning tools offer the current latest version. For Linux, decide in advance if you want to update to the minor or major package version. And for Windows, we recommend you to stay on the safe side, update every month the cumulative and security rollup patches. I guess this is the last slide, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it.